In Eastenders, Peter is taking a risky step as he starts seeing another girl behind Lauren's back. The pair have experienced numerous highs and lows in recent months, particularly after struggling to cope with their newborn son, Jimmy's visual impairment, in very different ways. During this turbulent period, Lauren also shared a kiss with her former flame, Zack, a fact that Peter's meddlesome mother, Beale, delighted in revealing to her son. Next week, Cindy stirs up more tension as she moves into number 25, living alongside the couple. However, it's Peter's own choices that put their relationship in jeopardy when he bonds with a new parent, Demi, at Jimmy's sensory class. When it becomes obvious that Demi is interested in him, Peter flirts with danger by going out for drinks with her, ignoring advice from his father, Beale. Returning home energized, he tries to seduce Lauren, unaware that her cousin, Branning, saw his intimate encounter with Demi. At Johnny Carter's birthday celebration at the Albert, Penny demands that Peter confess the truth about the mysterious woman, but Lauren ultimately discovers the secret herself after spotting a playful message on his phone. Despite the revelation, Lauren remains unfazed, leaving Peter to question the stability of their relationship once more. Later in the week, Penny arranges a coffee meetup between Lauren and Demi, and the three quickly start bonding. Peter is shocked when he walks in and hears them laughing at him, but Lauren smooths things over, saying she craves more excitement. Peter then confides in Ian and Kathy Beale, but they are stunned when he unveils a startling plan. Could this spell another rocky patch for Lauren and Peter? Eastenders delivers two major Callum and Johnny twists in emotional death storyline. In the latest episode of Eastenders on the 11th of September, viewers were left reeling as the drama delivered not one, but two jaw-dropping twists. Jono collapsed from a sudden and fatal heart attack, while at the same time, Callum and Johnny finally admitted the depth of their feelings for each other, marking a dramatic turning point in both personal and family storylines. Jono's unexpected return to Walford came after almost 6 years away. His absence had followed a deeply painful estrangement, triggered by his cruel rejection of his son's sexuality. The tension between father and son had always been a source of heartbreak, and his sudden reappearance threatened to reopen old wounds. Earlier in the week, Callum unexpectedly ran into his father in a tense encounter. He had been investigating a troubling situation when he realized that Eve was being targeted at the Albert, only to discover to his shock that Jono himself was behind the scheme. The revelation reignited painful memories and left Callum questioning his father's motives. Following Jono's arrest, father and son had minimal contact. Yet Jono soon requested a private meeting, hinting at a desire to reconcile. Or so it seemed. That evening, Callum turned to Phil at the market, expressing his doubts and uncertainty. Phil cautioned him not to trust Jono's sudden change of heart, warning that old patterns often repeat. Despite these concerns, Callum resolved to give his father one final chance, with Johnny kindly offering to accompany him for moral support. At Jono's flat, the reunion initially appeared promising. Jono spoke proudly of Callum's accomplishments in the police force, and for a moment, it seemed that a bridge might be rebuilt. But when Callum pressed him to acknowledge his sexuality fully, Jono dodged the question, leaving the air thick with unresolved tension. Jono then revealed a grim truth. He was seriously ill and too unwell to continue working. He added that he needed money to cover legal expenses following his recent arrest. Jono insisted that the homophobic remarks he had been accused of were not his own, instead placing the blame on a friend. Callum quickly saw through his father's act, recognizing that Jono's true motive was financial. When Callum refused to give him any money, Jono's demeanor shifted from pleading to hostile, accusing his son of looking down on him. As the confrontation escalated, Callum demanded that Jono leave immediately. In a shocking turn, Jono collapsed from a severe heart attack. Callum rushed to fetch Dr. Anthony and called an ambulance, while Johnny stayed behind to support Jono in his final moments. Even in his dying breath, Jono could not suppress his cruelty. He told Callum he was ashamed of him, leaving Johnny stunned and heartbroken at the harshness of his father's final words. Paramedics soon arrived to take Jono's body away, leaving Callum shattered and struggling to process the trauma. When he returned home, still reeling, he found Johnny waiting patiently, trying to provide comfort. Seeking closure, Callum asked Johnny what his father had said before passing. Faced with the devastating reality, Johnny made a difficult choice. He lied to protect Callum's heart, telling him that Jono had asked for forgiveness and expressed love. Relieved and emotionally overwhelmed, Callum broke down in tears. In that raw, vulnerable moment, the two men shared a tender kiss and finally confessed the feelings they had long kept hidden from each other. While this moment offered a glimpse of hope and happiness for Callum and Johnny, lingering questions remain. How long can Johnny maintain the deception about Jono's last words? And what will happen if Callum eventually discovers the truth, altering the fragile foundation of trust they've just begun to build? With emotions running high and secrets still looming, viewers are left on edge, eagerly anticipating the fallout in upcoming episodes. Eastenders viewers fear Joel Marshall plot could take a dark turn after unsettling clash. Fans of Eastenders have been left uneasy for Vicky Fowler, following a tense and intimidating encounter with her stepson, Joel Marshall, in tonight's episode. Since arriving earlier this year, Joel has caused constant disruption, showing troubling behavior and sexist attitudes. With his father, Ross, often away on work commitments, Vicky has been left to manage him alone, and the situation has grown increasingly difficult. In the previous episode, Vicky discovered that Joel and Tommy had skipped school to attend a Drake Zagan event. She and Kathy went to track them down, but the boys responded with hostility, verbally lashing out at both women. At her wits' end, Vicky enlisted Julie, an experienced teacher with decades of insight, to have a serious word with Joel. However, the conversation quickly deteriorated as Joel dismissed feminism as ridiculous and argued that women did not appreciate their own worth. He even spoke poorly of his mother, blaming her past unfaithfulness, while insisting that his views weren't influenced by resentment. Julie later reassured Vicky, promising to stay in touch, but matters worsened when Joel returned home. "She thinks she knows everything," he sneered, mocking Nigel by calling him a weak loser. Moments later, Joel leaned threateningly toward Vicky and warned, "Don't ever humiliate me like that again, understand?" before storming out, leaving her visibly shaken. The intense confrontation sparked concern among viewers online. One fan wrote on X, "That last scene between Joel and Vicky was terrifying. I'm genuinely worried he might harm her next." Another added, "Thank goodness Sharon's returning on Monday. Maybe she can reach him." A third commented, "Someone needs to put some sense into Joel, and quickly." Meanwhile, Joel isn't the only source of danger in Albert Square. Across the street at the Vic, chaos erupted as Kat, Zoe, and Stacy handed money to Greg in a desperate bid for safety. During the standoff, Greg was knocked out again, and Zoe claimed to Jack and Ravi that he was the one who shot her, even though the real culprit was Jack. Seizing the opportunity, Jack and Ravi allowed the lie to continue. Elsewhere, Tommy stumbled upon Greg threatening the Slater family with a knife. After running to get help, he later lied to Joel, claiming he had personally punched Greg. Joel praised him, saying, "Well done, standing up for your family. I'm proud of you." But once the truth comes out, how will Joel react? And just how far could his storyline descend into darkness? Eastenders airs Mondays to Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. on BBC One and BBC iPlayer.